Hi, everybody. It's an incredible pleasure to be again on a How to Lead Now conversation tonight. And tonight we have the incredible opportunity to talk to Fabrice Croiseaux about leadership. And so this is, I'm very happy that we can do that together. So I am Marco Houwen. I am the co-founder of How Coaching and also fascinated about leadership since a long time. And now let me introduce our guest, Fabrice Croiseaux. Since 22 years working at Intech and its CEO since almost 10 years now. Actually, I checked it at 2011. We always made it through the 10 years. Blockchain advisor, digital transformation expert, a real expert when it comes to technical expertise. I remember when we were talking about blockchain a few years ago, there was only one name popping up all the time. So that was what was yours. And so numerous advisors, board positions in organizations like InfraChain, TokenEye, and other ones, just to name these ones. So a real technical background. So most people know you best because of your huge technical expertise. And that is not what we will really focus on tonight, because what some people know maybe, but not the most of them, is actually we want to highlight your journey as a leader. Thank you again, Fabrice, for having you tonight.
Thank you, Marco, for the invitation.
And so let me kick it off with the first question. So now, after having highlighted your technical journey, being a software engineer since well, actually there was another experience before, I think, which was 8 years, so like this 30 years as a software engineer and an architect. What did set you on the track to become such a strong leader in your company and community?
So, hi, Marco. Thanks a lot for the opportunity you give me to be here today and to talk with you about leadership, not about technology this time. But again, thanks a lot to give me this opportunity. So about being a leader. So it's I cannot find anything special because to me, at least myself, I didn't tell myself once, okay, I want to be a leader. From now, I will lead. And I don't know if because leading in such is not an activity. It's something that after the other, when they look after how you manage your business, how you manage your personal life, maybe your hobbies, they tell you, oh, you are a leader, you are a great leader or a good leader, or I know the way you lead, but you don't know why, or at least I don't know why, if I even don't know if I'm a good leader or not. What I want is that my employees, the people who work for me, I want them to be happy at work, to be inspired, to be motivated, to come to work while being happy, with smile, and I hope it's the case. We have the chance to be a great place to work, to have this year we are first in the large company in Luxembourg being a great place to work. So some way it must be the case, but I don't know exactly what lead me to be a leader. But the only thing I can remember is the first time I read a book about personal development. In the book, I've seen that lots of people started with the same book. It's a book from Anthony Robbins, Pouvoir illimité in French, unlimited power in English, I think.
Yeah. Unleash the power within. It was
okay. Unleash the power within. It's even better as a title of the book. So this was the first book I read, and I discovered personal development or self-improvement with this book, and it opened to me a very large area of thinking, of discovering things, and Anybody can do, after all, anybody can do what he wants, really what he wants. And he can achieve what he wants to achieve if he really wants to do that. The thing is that sometimes you don't want what you think you want to do as much as you think it is. But so anybody can do what he wants and can achieve what he wants, really. But it's not usually when you read that or when you say that, people think it's not precisely the case. But to me, I'm convinced that it's precisely the case. You can really what you want to achieve. You can anybody can do that, but really anybody. So can I haven't said will, but can. It's not the same. Exactly.
Well, there are some other, maybe we come back to that, but there's some other ingredients which have to be present so that you can, or that you will be able to achieve. But I'm really happy to see that we have the same basics. So Anthony Robbins, as you might know, and I think we talked about it before, is actually, this book was at the start of my transformation too. So for all the ones who didn't read it yet, just go for it, or other ones. But that at least looks like both of us we were inspired by. But coming back to inspiration, because when we prepared for this conversation, you shared your leadership philosophy with me, and so it is beautiful because you say inspiration gives motivation, motivation gives energy, and energy drives results or drives to results. So in that light, what was your inspiration to become or to set up? Because today you are known, and your company has this recognition as being best workplace and so on. So like at one moment in time, what was your inspiration to do that? What, besides the fact that you want people to be happy and to laugh, what was your inspiration to become that leader? Even so, you say it's not a work being a leader.
Yeah. So again, I can see the result, but I have to say that it was not the way it was planned. It was not planned. It's only a result. And what is this result today? Is that I see that when people are happy, so when they are motivated, they give the best of themselves. Yeah. And when you give the best of yourself, the rest is that if I have hired these people, it's because they have the good technical knowledge. I think they have the right mentality, the right way of thinking. So it's my responsibility. And after, the only thing you have to do is to allow them to give the best of themselves, to give them the possibility to do that. And Happy at Work is one of the aspect that allow everybody to give the best of himself. And after, of course, it has to be driven. It has people have to be complementary, etc., etc. You have lots of things, but I have to say that I'm lucky. I think I'm lucky because nature makes things well by itself, and I think everybody goes well naturally. And maybe I'm lucky. I think I'm lucky, to be honest. But as I know that there are some sentences. Lucky is I like one is lucky is a combination of preparation and opportunity, or something like that.
Yeah. I think.
I like it, but I think I'm lucky, and the thing I want to do is to give the opportunity to everybody to give the best of himself or ourselves, and after things go well by themselves.
I think it's beautiful how you take this as an intuitive journey rather than a planned journey. Still being as you are and having a little bit had the possibility to look into your company, today you are almost like a self-managed company. So it's like you still have hierarchy, but the hierarchies are not very important or not as important as in other companies and so on. So maybe you can share a little bit about that. And also, because at one moment in time there was a decision which you had to take on that, I presume, because that it's another style of running a company. So how did that happen?
So it happened very progressively, because 2 years, 1.5 or 2 years ago, we had a meeting with our management team, and we said, okay, we want to be more open. I cannot remember the name. So this new generation of companies that are self-managed.
Self-managed companies, yeah.
Yes, and so we started to make a list of what we should do to do that, and we said, okay, we have to do. We already do that. Okay, we have to allow people to participate to decision and how to decide. Oh, we already do that, and we saw that 80% of things we were already doing that. So without knowing, like Mr. Jourdain, without knowing, we were already doing things that self-managed company were doing. And so we continue. The thing we did after we decided to do is to tell people that they can do that, because we were already, but the real change was to tell people that they are allowed to do that they are allowed to participate in everything, that they are allowed to give to say what they think, to say what they want to do, that to participate in every management decision, not to take every decision, but to participate in any decision. And after, it's up to us, to the management, to listen to them, and to when I disagree with something, the first question I ask myself is why can they be true? Why are they true? And even if I don't think the same, automatically I would think the contrary, or I would disagree. The first question I really ask to myself is why are they true? Try to find where and often it changes a little bit my point of view, and then we can incorporate what everybody say in the final decision. And I think the final decision and the final actions that are taken as a result of every participant input. And so this is the only thing we did, to tell everybody that they can participate. If they want, it's not mandatory. If they want, they can. And if they don't want, it's okay too, because it's and we are not. I try to. It's maybe something difficult for me. It was something difficult to say to the rest of the management, of some of the management. Say people who don't want to participate, they are as good as people who want to participate. You have to be open to that too. You have to be open to everything that goes in the direction we want to go. But it's okay for somebody who only is we have to remove only wants to make his current job to the customer, with the customer, so without participating to other decision or management. It's okay too.
It's beautiful what you're saying, because it really seems that it was, well, a little bit of a guided process at one moment in time, but as so many things were done already before you started to get conscious that is actually self-management or team management, whatever. So it's really beautiful. But you said something which triggered me in a way, is this humbleness of what people can, like, that everybody that you think, okay, where are they true? And what comes up for me when I hear you saying that is that there is this author and one of the richest guys in the world, actually, Ray Dalio, who wrote the book Principles, who said when he made the first time he went bankrupt in 1982, I think, it was because he was really sure that he was right. And he foresaw that all these states who are so massively indebted to the US will all go bankrupt, and he put all his money on it, and he had to fire everybody, and he went into his father's basement and rebooted his company. And the learning he had out of that was, okay, I will never be thinking about myself being the most clever guy in the room. That comes up for me. And actually, he created out of that the largest, and still up to date, the most successful hedge fund management company in the world, which is Bridgewater. And so it's quite an amazing story. And that's what I hear here. So what were obstacles you if any, what were obstacles which you could see or having with the people? Were they reluctant? Can you share something around that?
So I think the most difficult, because another way of thinking of saying what I said before is to give people freedom. Okay.
Yeah.
To give them the freedom to participate and to their own. But as I've seen that it's not so easy to give people freedom, because with freedom comes responsibility. So not responsibility in terms of to be responsible to the act, etc. But when they know that they can participate, they can do, they can ask, they can anything. And after, it's very difficult for anybody to say, okay, so to put the fault to anybody else, not for the result, but for not being involved. For example, nobody can say, okay, nobody told take my opinion into account, because it's wrong. It's simply wrong. So just not having the possibility to say that, it's sometimes uncomfortable, because it's also I have learned that it's comfortable to be forced to do something and to have the opportunity to complain about that. Because to me, even if it's not for people, I know it's not comfortable to complain, but it's how can I say that? It eases lots of things, because you don't have to ask yourself what you could have done differently. When you say you didn't take my advice into account, or I'm not allowed to do that, or you have taken the wrong decision, etc., etc. This is a comfort. It's not. This is comfortable, because you don't have to ask yourself. So okay, what could I've done differently? So sometimes it's difficult for people. They are quite lost in this ocean of freedom.
Yeah, totally. What I hear also from other companies who go down that road is that they get this feeling that the people, as we in the framework we are operating in our society, they are never asked for their opinion. And now they're asked for their opinion, and they're not used to that. Did that make changes in your company? Did people leave for it? Did you see in, like you say, 2-3 years on, and as you did it before, so it's like most likely 4 or 5 years where you're on that track? Do you see that now people are getting more and more into that, and more accepting this role of responsibility, or you still have this reluctance from people, and you just say, okay, these are the ones who will not just do their job?
So some people just do their job, but they know that it's okay. They know it's really okay. As I said before, they know it's okay. It's not a problem at all, and we won't tell them or give them bad notation, even if we don't give any notation. So we won't report that, complain against that to them. It's okay. So no, this is fine. So as in people are leaving, not everybody is staying at Intech. Also because there is good opportunities outside, and it's okay for people to go out. It's fine. I don't know. Maybe I can imagine. I'm quite sure that some have left because the way the companies manage, or the evolution of the company doesn't fit 100% to what they want, and so maybe they think, and maybe it's a case that it's better for them to go somewhere else. That's fine. So maybe yes, but mainly I think that people are they're okay with that. They like the way they can participate, they can be involved in lots of decisions, lots of things. They also have the opportunity to start something, to start what we call a new activity in relation to our business, of course. But even to think about starting a new offer, so we have really interesting, valuable experience recently on that. And so I think globally it's okay. And the most difficult thing was to explain that, because once we said, okay, now we are being a self-managed company, but we started, we forgot, we didn't forget, but it has not been listened. That we are already 80% a self-managed company. So I think that people started to think, okay, everything will change. And after very few things changed, and what changed was very positive for them.
Beautifully said. And I would love to, and now I don't know how much you want to share, so you share just as much as you feel comfortable with.
Yes.
But how do you see the evolution in performance or in efficiency, or whatever these classical terms we use in companies to measure the company? Do you see a change? Do you see something which shifted in the organization? You say, we were always a very efficient company, we just feel better now. How does that play out for you?
So I haven't maybe it's I haven't seen a huge change or a change in the company, but I see that some now from not so much, from maybe 1 year or maybe a little more, some opportunities, some projects, some initiatives are coming from people, from anybody, and these initiatives are giving some very good results. And we wouldn't have done that without the idea, without them. I don't know if at the end, on an economic aspect, it changes a lot, because if they didn't, because we have the chance to be in an industry where there is quite some demands. So if they wouldn't have done that, they would have done something else, and with quite the same economic, at least from the economical side, economic impact, short-term economic impact. But on mid or long term, I think what we do now will give some other opportunities, or will allow us to access new kind of customers. I can give a little example. During the start of the COVID, it was in June or July. It was in June. We are a lot involved in the French university. I'm chairman of Telecom Nancy, for example, and so we have some other employees who are participating in the life in university. And when the COVID started, we saw that it would be impossible to have the forum from the university, where the students that ended who goes on the market, they meet their first employee inside their university or school, because they're organizing this forum. It would be impossible to have them physically. And so, since at that time we had some resources available, we decided to develop a platform to go virtual forum for recruitments. It was end of June. And now we have 25 universities in all the France, in Paris also, so in Nancy, of course, because we are the first contact we had there was Nancy. 25 universities was made their forum with the platform. We also had some huge recruitment company here in Luxembourg who made their virtual events with the platform. The movie job event was done with the platform, and so we have new opportunities that were not present before, and this started from an idea from our employees. They saw the need, and what is beautiful, I think, is the first goal was not to make money, was to help university to make their event. To be able to make their event, to do their event, even when virtually. This was the first goal, and now we have it's wonderful because we also have we are starting to move the platform to something to virtual stores also. We have some very interesting opportunities, and it came from an idea from a group of employees who wanted to help the university. It's very and also in terms of involvement from the people, it's huge. It's wonderful, really wonderful. They work hours and hours because in 4 months they made the whole platform, and there are in the first event was the biggest one. It was not planned like that, but it was a demand, and we are 10,000 connected people. 10,000.
Wow.
And I wouldn't say it have worked like a charm, because you had to manage infrastructure as you come from this world, so you can imagine the infrastructure. And we didn't know that so much people would attend, but it worked. And when I say that even Fnac or Amazon, etc., are shutting down their machine when PS5 is launching, as it was last week, so we don't have to be shy about that.
No. What I hear is quite beautiful. So you didn't set up because you are so convinced. At least that's what I get from what you say. You're so convinced about the way you manage the company and the way this is self-managing itself that you don't need the KPIs to convince yourself that that's the way to go. In some companies, you need the KPIs, so you have to show to the board or to whoever is that it is really bringing something. But what you implicitly say, and that's actually how I get it, is like it is creating opportunity for your company, and even in these difficult times, which everybody is impacted by the sanitary situation and COVID and especially, well, I think you have a lot of French workforce, so there was way harder lockdowns and way more difficult situations than we in our lucky land here we had. So not only did the way you managed the company brought this positive effect from the new opportunity, but it also, at least that's what I hear, it also created for you and for your workforce a resilience, an emotional resilience, which not everybody has, because at the end, when people are in front of these kind of situations, they don't think about work anymore. So like they don't think about their small problem, which is a problem. So not denying or not want to diminish that, but like giving them a purpose and creating a purpose together gave them a resilience to go through difficult times, I think. And I really think that's really very, very applaudable and extremely positive to have such an environment.
And really, the only thing I did is to allow them to do that. Yeah. This is the only thing I did, because the product definition, the development, the technical architecture, I didn't participate to anything of that. I let them work on that. The only thing I really did is to allow them to do that. And it's nothing, but I can imagine that in lots of company, it wouldn't have started at all. So
I love it. I love it. You are the allower of the company.
so I would say leading is easy. You just have to allow people to do what they not what they want to do, because it's not anarchy, but to yes, when they're inspired, the inspiration come from them. At that time, they know that they are following the company's direction, and after, the only thing you have to do is to allow them to do what they are convinced, what they think is good for the company, and not for the company, but for the customer, for the partner of the company, and it works.
Beautiful. I love when things are functioning simply. Maybe to wrap up our discussion. So I think, well, we are already 31 minutes in, and I think we can go another hour on this topic. But as my commitment was 25 to 35 minutes, I have a last question, maybe just shortly, because we're talking a lot about inspiration. And what do you think inspires your work, your people, your collaborators? What inspires them? What is your trait, your way of inspiring them? What inspires them from you?
I see. Alors, maybe I really don't know, but I can imagine I'm open-minded, and I think they like that, and I often it's common. It's common to do that, but it's the case, so I have to say that I like, and it's natural for me to think out of the box and to think differently, and I like that. And in my way of working, of doing things, it's what makes the biggest impact with the lowest energy, let's say. What is so? I think I like that we often have quite not huge, but good impact. What we do as impact, and it's done with again by making things quite a little bit differently, and at least by thinking out of the box. And they are so often surprised by the way things happen, and they are positively surprised. And being positively surprised is always gives a positive energy and inspiration. And I think this is this could be one thing, but it would be better to ask them. I don't know, but maybe it could be such thing.
Yeah, thank you. Because sharing actually, as you said, leading is simple if you're open-minded. I would take this one as a closing sentence, because at the end, this open-mindedness which you inspire, they are taking on, and then they can create all the things you decided you talked about now. So thank you so much.
I would say also, don't be afraid to have better results than the one you would have expected. Because it can happen, and it often happens when you are open to that. But very often you take your object, you mix the result and the objective, and there are two different things. And you take the objective as the highest achievable result. But you can have totally different results. It was the case with the platform I was talking about. You can have a better result that are totally different. And so don't be afraid to have better results than the one expected.
I love that. Don't be afraid to have better results than expected. That's beautiful to add a beautiful conversation. I'm very, very happy that you took the time And thank you so
Thanks a lot,
much. Good luck. And even so, luck has nothing to do with it, I think. Even so, you call yourself lucky. I don't think it is luck. Have a great rest of the day and evening, and thank you so much.
Thanks a lot again, Marco, and have a great evening too.